that it actually then could lead me to this question, right? So, where do you think that Valentine's Day itself originated from? Just like in terms of the actual origins of the day. Why is it something that we celebrate? Why do you think that even came up?
I mean, honestly, I feel like that's a very, it's not a deep question, but then it requires research. So I think I
Yeah.
would have to, because if anybody asks me about Christmas, it's something that I can easily answer. So I think for that, I
Mm.
would really have to like whip up my phone and check on Google, like, okay, what's the story behind this? So I've never really gotten to do research or try and like figure out like how it originated. I mean, do you know? Like, I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, because I think for me, right, the way I'd asked this question when I was younger as a kid, because I was raised Catholic, right? And at the time, they had said to me, um, don't quote me on this though, but they had said to me that no, Valentine's Day, or part of the history of Valentine's Day, has to do with Saint Valentine. There was a person who actually became a saint called Saint Valentine. And I think it was during a time when people were not supposed to be married or something to that effect. And he was doing it illegally. And then they put him in jail for it. And the day that he was executed, allegedly,
Was
February
on the 14th
14th.
of February.
Yes. And then they said, okay, cool, Saint Valentine. And then later on, it became,
Celebrating love
being
because he wanted to get
Valentine's
married.
Day associated with love. But then on the flip side, apparently, allegedly, there was another story of it dating back to the days of the Romans and the Greeks, right? And they had said something along the lines of this festival called Lupercalia, or
Never
something
heard of
to that
it.
effect. If I'm saying it wrong, guys, then correct me, please. But that one was a bit darker, because with that particular situation, they were saying that it was actually a day having to do with fertility, and they would have animal sacrifices, and they would be beating women with certain animal skins, and then if you bled, it would be a sign of fertility or something to that
Okay.
effect.
What
And
in
I
the
was
what?
there like, I don't know why you gotta be
So basically,
doing
what you're saying
that,
is
but you
that there
see,
are two versions that explain Valentine's Day. I think I
right?
would rather go with the Saint Valentine because child.
You're picking and
No,
choosing.
I'm choosing Saint Valentine's theory because yeah, the second one is pretty dark for me. Like yeah, but there are a lot of dark things that happened in those times that I don't know.
Yeah, no, that is true. There are a lot of things that I think during those times, even though they may have seemed normal, but in today's day and age, you look at it and you're like, that's actually kind of weird. Why would that be a situation? But yeah, if anything, like that was just things that I've obviously heard. If anyone knows better, please
Let us know.
Like, let us know. Tell us the real deal thing. Those are things that, like, obviously I was just told. But then, yeah, I guess then in terms of Valentine's Day itself and its importance, do you think that it is something that is very important in a relationship from a space of, if you don't, for example, acknowledge Valentine's Day in your relationships, do you think that would be grounds to break up with somebody? Because I know my younger sister would be telling me stories. Yes, guys, like my youngest sister would tell me a story of how, a friend of hers broke up with her boyfriend, but again, they were like teenagers, like
yeah, I was about to say,
they broke up
if
with
you're
their
talking about
boyfriend
people
because
our age, maybe, but that age, I feel like they don't really have problems in their relationships. That is a problem. So it makes sense if those people are gonna break up over stuff like that. And also, they just date for fun. Like kids date for fun. So you didn't get me a chocolate, I'm gonna find the other boy that bought me that will buy me a chocolate or whatever. So I think like on those type of relationships, or that like really young age group, they really break up over funny things. But I think for people, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, or whatever, like older people that can vote and think and whatever. I don't think that should be grounds to break up with someone. I do, however, think that it is important to understand the whole concept of like people's love languages. So if it is that I'm in a relationship with a guy that loves Valentine's Day and he wants to get gifts that day, and for me it's just a stupid thing, because I care for him and I want them to be happy, I will celebrate it. I'll do something because I know that it's important to them, you know? And vice versa. If it is that I am the type of girl that wants to celebrate and get something cute, I would want my partner to do that for me. But if they don't, I don't think I'll break up with them. But I think it's also a conversation that you need to have. Like, hey, are you someone that really takes Valentine's Day seriously? And if they say no, then it's whatever. If they say yes, then you need to understand, okay, this means something to the person that I'm seeing, so I should try and put a little bit of effort, even though for me it's useless and it's meaningless, you know, but it's something to them. So I think that as much as it may not be grounds for a breakup, but if you continuously don't make an effort and they've told you that they like this, then, you know, small things really end relationships, you know, like it's the smallest things. So if your partner has vocalized, like, I really like this day, like I want every time for us to do stuff, and then you don't really care and you don't put effort just because it means nothing to you, then I think in the long run, it might make the relationship a bit, you know, unstable in a sense, because that's something that brings joy to her. And even though you might not really place value and understand it, it's still fair to try and just participate and be on board. So I guess, like I said, it's not grounds to break up, but if it means a lot to someone and you continuously don't make effort, it might lead to the person feeling like you just don't care. And then they might find someone else who won't care.
But then I guess then the next aspect of that question then more so has to do with the idea of placing the value of someone's ability to love you in accordance with something like this day or money. Like, okay, because in a way, I mean, with terms of Valentine's Day, most of the time it means you're gonna buy something. Right? That's subjective. That's the implied thing.
That's what the world wants us to do. They want us to buy their products.
Yes.
But in the relationship, you can cook. I can come home to a home cooked meal.
Right.
We can watch a movie together and go to bed. Like, it really depends on. Yeah. Anyway, continue.
No, because you're absolutely right. And that was the part that I was leading to. Because in a way, it definitely does mean that, you know, you don't have to attach money to it in terms of, okay, in order for me to show you that I love you, I have to go and buy these things. I have to go and, you know, buy the chocolate, buy the Ferrero Rocher, buy the bunch of roses, buy the teddy bear, buy all of these things. And that doesn't necessarily have to equate to them loving you any more, any less. So, because earlier we were speaking about that aspect of acknowledgement and how it's more so just about acknowledging it's a day, because they'll be like, oh,
this is happening.
Happy babe.
Just as same as
and
you
then
say
they
Happy
know
New Year.
that, okay, cool. It's that same thing. So I think the aspect that I was getting to is more so just about the value that we place it in as far as our relationship goes. That when you are with somebody and Valentine's Day comes around, okay, cool. You don't necessarily need to be that person who goes and buys alles, and you need to go here, and you need to go there, and you need to do all of these beautiful things. Because the idea of love, does it have to be attached to money, or does it have to be attached to like things that you do? Because you brought up that aspect of love languages, which I think is important, right? Because what you were saying is that, you know, for you, maybe Valentine's Day may mean that, you know, you must just like tell me that you love me and buy me stuff. For the next person, it may be that you must take me somewhere and do an activity, right? but just the overall idea of love itself and what we attach it to. Because obviously the idea of Valentine's Day makes it monetary, because they're just pushing stuff that you must buy, right? That you must buy, you must buy, you must buy, you must buy. But for you personally, if you were in a situation where you had your partner and Valentine's Day did come around, how would you want for it to be celebrated, if at all?
Honestly, I don't think that I would want us to celebrate it. It also just depends on the day of the week. Like, you know, if I'm at work and I'm like, a text is enough. If you want from your own will to go above and beyond getting something, then I think that is fine. But I'm being genuine right now, and I'm being honest. And I think, as I said, it's mainly I'm biased because I've never had that experience. I don't know what it feels like, so I can't desire something that I've never experienced. You know, I have nothing to link it to, so I don't. I don't have an idea of what I would expect. Like I said, yeah, maybe a text, like, you know, just acknowledge that it's something that is happening the same way that you would acknowledge Mother's Day, New Year's, Christmas, whatever holidays that people celebrate. Like, yeah, but I don't think it's that deep. Like, I really, no, yeah. How about you?
No fantasy vibe of, oh, they did this.
No, my fantasies are every day. They're every weekend. They're every like. I mean, if I want to do something, let's just do it. Like, I'm not gonna wait for that particular day. But as I'm saying, like, I don't have anything to play on to say, oh, that time this happened on Valentine's. I was so happy. I really want someone to do this for me. You know, like maybe they surprised me with XYZ I didn't know. So that moment was such a incredible moment for me that I would want it to be replicated somehow. I really don't have so I don't know.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think for me, as far as celebrating it goes, it definitely does come down to the love language thing. For me, it's quality time. And I don't think it's necessarily that, oh, you have to do it only on Valentine's Day. It should be a staple within the relationship regardless of Valentine's Day. That just happens to be a day where everybody is very vocal about doing it. Yes. But at that point in time, it should be a thing. For me, my love language is quality time, right? So it would be doing things. It would be, okay, cool. Like, we're gonna
have dinner together,
hike up somewhere, or we're gonna do something, go bowling or whatever it is. But these are standard things. That, as you said, should
now
be
we
done
have an extra
regardless.
day where the world wants us to do it, so we'll participate.
Yeah,
a bonus day.
And also for the single girls out there, I mean, on that day, let it be about you, girl. Self-love vibes.
Order yourself some flowers and secretly send them.
Right? No, I used to do that, actually. I legit used to do that as well.
Oh my god. I don't know, like Valentine's Day.
I would treat myself.
Immediately, I feel like, especially once I started university, like, it stopped being a thing, because at university, no one gives a shit. It was only primary school and high school where, you know, they would do something, those secret admirer, and then primary school was more for, like, you know, casual wear, buying stuff. But it wasn't in primary school, at least in my time, no one was crushing on anyone from what I knew and buying whoever stuff. High school was kind of a little bit like that because people were really dating at high school. University, nobody cares. You probably have an exam that day, you are in the pits. So I don't really, after I left high school, it really just became something, you know, that I had no idea was happening unless I go to the shop and I see the decorations. But then still, again, it goes over my head. I'm not in a relationship. It means nothing to me. So,
right. So basically then, as far as Valentine's Day goes, just to wrap things up then, it's more so what we're saying is that it should come down to acknowledgement and each person and the way that they would like to celebrate it, if at all.
Your own relationship more than anything. Like, if you guys want to go take a trip to flippin' Paris, Greece for Valentine's Day, do that. Like, it's your guys' relationship. Like, nobody can really tell you what's right or what's wrong. But I think that maybe, like, with the big question of like ending a relationship because someone didn't do anything for you on that particular day, but on the other days they are consistently there for you, I think that's the sketchy part where you get upset. But like we also said, like, you know, people's love language, like, it's important to understand the other person. If it means a lot to them, then by all means, like, you know, do it. So yeah, I don't know, for me, really, I don't know, it's
like,
it's whatever. It's really whatever.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, girl. It is what it is.
No, definitely. No, I agree with you 100%. So yes, guys, that's Valentine's Day. You guys should definitely let us know how you guys celebrate it, if you do at all, how that goes, what that looks like for you guys. Let us know in the comments. And yes, I think from Amanda and I,
it's goodbye. Don't forget to like.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.